Hey everyone, welcome to Pickleball and Beyond. My name's Ryan.
My name is Vino.
And today we are looking at two paddles from Thompson. We have the 515 Uni and the 515 Twill. So, right off the bat, amazing story from these guys. We'll put a link to their YouTube video on it explaining more about the technology that went into these, and it truly is something special. Please check that video out. Super awesome and great details to learn even more about this awesome company.
This is like they're based from Michigan, and every paddle is hand built. They touch every single paddle, and that's a big claim, and it's a hard claim. Get what I mean? Yeah. But when we played with it, we were so impressed with what it had to offer. So yeah, definitely check them out.
So if you're a regular, you probably heard this message before, but please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us continue to grow, keep giving you awesome new paddles that you can hear our perspective on and help you, become more informed about the latest and greatest paddles that are hitting the markets. Make sure to stay tuned to this video to hear about a giveaway that we're doing with Thompson so you can win your very own paddle from them.
Where would we categorize these paddles?
So I would say both the Uni and Twill, both of these would be all-around paddles. I mean, it's awesome. It has great control, great power. It's just the definition of an all-around paddle.
Yes, and this is edgeless. It's 14 millimeter. This is the first time I've actually played with a grip like this.
Oh, it's super unique.
It's very unique. It's a rounded grip. There's this.
You can feel there's two notches in the grip that they put, so you can.
So you know where you're keeping your hand.
You're holding it, right?
There is this butt cap that's a little bit more protruding.
Yeah, it's definitely a very large butt.
Yes, and lots of people, they had got this feedback that paddles slip off, and where people hold it, it almost holds the paddle in. I tend to hold it a bit lower, continental. So it did take a little bit of getting used to, but the more I played, it actually fit between my fingers well. And I didn't mind it. They have this true wall technology that, again, you need to go check it out.
The true feel sidewall technology. It's
very interesting.
Watching the video on that, when they're filling it in, it's just like, it goes back to skiing technology. I'm like, this is incredible to watch.
And how it felt was like, it's this edgeless that felt like you had a good parameter edge.
Yeah. Without having it being like, the super thick wall.
Yes. And it also brought out those thinner 14 millimeter characteristics when you played.
Yeah. Then the last, again, there's so many neat things that went into the paddle, but it's instead of like a T700 carbon fiber surface, it's T1100.
Yes.
And we're like, what is this?
Yes.
I think he mentioned it's in like in jets. It's like, well, this is insane.
Something different, something very different. Unique. And so the difference between this Twill and Uni is this Twill has this cross fibers. So we did feel that it did have a little bit of spin, a little bit more spin. We'll talk about this, and this is kind of that straight kind of weave. Let's go straight into control of both these paddles. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, the control for both of these, again, it was really nice and exceeded my expectations for a 14 millimeter edgeless paddle, especially.
Yes.
Very hesitant going into the control side always. It's like, okay, it's just gonna be a power paddle probably, but I remember we hit it, we looked up at each other, we're like, oh, this feels nice dinking.
Right.
We're like, okay, will this hold up on resets? It held up on resets. And hitting, how did drop shots feel? Felt fantastic. I mean, all the aspects of control right out of the box, super easily adaptable, and it just felt so natural.
Yeah.
And the sweet spot was very nice.
It was very forgiving. Again, I'm going to touch on the sweet spot. Both of these came at 6.5 and 6.9, so very close, or 6.5 and 6.6. Very close as far as the twist weight goes, and we felt it. Even when it went to the edges, it felt really nice, especially with edgeless paddles. When it goes to the edge, it literally kind of loses, right? And people really, or then you have to make the paddle thick, right? But this kept that thinness, but still had that larger sweet spot. How did your reef sets feel?
Again, the resets felt great. I would have to give just a little +1 to the Twill over the Uni. It just had like a little more, slightly longer dwell to it, which ties into that resets. That really made it just a smidge easier to get it back over the net where I wanted it to be.
How did you feel the pop and power on these were?
So that's where the Uni had certainly just a bit more pop and power, like just so in both
Again,
departments.
smidges. Yeah.
Yes, very slight margins. I think I noticed it more in the pop with
Yes.
the uni here. When I was really taking some balls out of the air, it just had this little extra, came off a little hotter. I think it was that slight difference in dwell time where the Twill had a little more. So I like that they're both very, very similar, but if you just want that minor adjustment, you can do that. But I mean, the power on both of these, it was, you know, is a very nice high level.
I mean, so one thing, and we will do like a comparison, when we did like the volleying with this kind of caught the ball a little bit more,
Yeah, the Twill
and it
did.
brought it down. Like every single time it had that extra dip. So it has that spin and it has that dwell, and it actually grabs and turns that ball. So lots of those volley shots or those drive shots, you felt this came down a bit more, whereas this just drove it. There was a big plow on that.
Yeah, so I think overall, like hitting drives, it's interesting. You'll get a little more power, I think, with the uni. But the Twill, like again with that, it got those extra revolutions. You can get a really nice shape on your drives.
Yes.
Both, I mean, again, both are great.
And just continuing on, we felt the spin was a little bit better on this. You want to touch a little bit? Yes. You want to touch on the spin?
Yeah, I mean, they both again had great levels of spin. I mean, but the Twill especially was just like, ooh. Like at the kitchen line, it was awesome hitting that backspin on the backhand dings.
You once in a while get this paddle that it's an all-around, it does well in all categories, and it just keeps like surprising you. I personally like the Twill just a smidge more, just like because it did everything, including the spin. I was very surprised on how I enjoyed playing with this paddle.
With in terms of all aspects, right? I mean, going into like the who is this paddle for, I like that it's for everybody. And you know, hearing the story, how so much of it is handmade was just like truly awesome to hear. You don't see a lot of brands that can do such a hard task. It's difficult. But I mean, all aspects of this paddle, it performed at like a very a high level, which is just phenomenal to see.
So both these paddles are priced at $250, and I do understand the higher price margin because you are doing everything in locally. Get what I mean?
By hand.
You're touching everything. You're making sure quality control is great on everything. We do have a code that's going to bring your price down a little bit, and we like this so much. We want to make sure you can get your hands on one of these paddles. So what do they need to do to get their hands on this paddle, Ryan?
So we'll be giving one Thompson paddle away. So in order to be eligible for that giveaway, you'll have to be a subscriber to the channel.
If you're not, please subscribe.
That's right. Drop a like and leave a comment and you can win your own, and it truly is something special, and we're super excited to be giving one away to one of you.
I mean, usually in my bag, I carry a couple of paddles that we are trying out. And whenever I go, if anyone wants to try a paddle, I've let them. The last couple of weeks, I can tell you, multiple people have tried this. And immediately they're like, wow, when can we get one of these paddles? And that really doesn't happen because usually like they want to try different paddles. This has been really unique. The feel of this has been unique. Today we were playing with some people, both of us actually played with one of these paddles, and it kept on surprising.
I think the best way to sum it up is it retains like that power of a 14 millimeter, but it feels like a 16 millimeter for the control. Like with how like soft it is, but it still has a lot of power too. It's like, it's crazy.
And like, it's like if you hit, you almost activate it. Get what I mean? So it really is a very interesting paddle. Again, we love helping people get paddles. Paddles are like shoes, like cars. Something's going to work for you. So we like getting people to try. So if you want to try this paddle, reach out to us. We also have a resource down where multiple people are helping people demo paddles. So if you want to check it out, please check it out. You can find a place close to you that you might be able to demo a paddle. Please subscribe. We want to grow this channel and bring more content to you. We love hearing from you, so please comment. We love interacting with you. And you want to try this paddle, we would love to help you get your hands on one of these. Hope to see you in another paddle review.